Oh, good. I was muted. That's super awesome because I started it out kind of shitty, and I'm going to restart it now in a better, less crappy way. What if we start it this way this time? Well, that's pretty shitty. Thanks for the damn ad. And welcome everybody to our Daily Gun Show. Come to you live every weeknight at midnight Eastern, and we talk about guns for an hour. So tonight, I'd see if anybody shouts out there. Oh, get a couple of comments rolling in now from folks out there, Ozzy and DTP. And figured we'd share a little bit of our Arizona rally this weekend. We had a 2A rally in Arizona this weekend. So I think actually I'm going to take a second, go over to the Gun Website's YouTube channel here, and double check everybody can hear everything okay. I did post this video on Friday night. Self-explanatory.
The year 2020 is becoming the year of the Second Amendment rally. So in this video, we've compiled as much information as we can about the 2A rallies that are happening this year. Believe it or not, 9 have happened already this year. 2 more will happen this weekend. I'm filming this, recording this on Valentine's Day, February 14th. 9 of them total will happen in February, 1 in March, 6 that I know of in April, 1 in May, 3 more in June, 1 in August, and 1 in September. There's 31 that have already happened, but it will happen this year. On the screen, you've seen some graphics from some of the ones that have already happened. Going forward, though, we have one in Arizona this weekend, in Phoenix at our state capitol on East Lawn. There's also one this weekend in North Carolina. They're calling that the Stick to Your Guns rally. That one's being held in Fletcher, North Carolina at the WNC Agricultural Center from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. The next one we know of is in Charleston, West Virginia. They're calling that the West Virginia CDL Lobby Day. It's at their state capitol in Charleston at 8 a.m. That's on Monday. Also on Monday, Topeka, Kansas is the Secure Our Free State event. That's happening from 12 to 1:30 p.m. at their governor's office in Topeka. Some of the ones that have already happened.
Whoops.
Going forward, though, February 21st. The next one is in Iowa, Thursday, February 27th at 10 a.m. at their Capitol building in Des Moines. And that's the Second Amendment rally. The next one is coming up in Colorado. That's on Saturday, February 29th from 1 to 3 p.m. in Loveland, Colorado. The next one we're aware of is in New Hampshire. We're calling that Hold the Line. That one will be the only one that we know in March. So if you know of any others, let us know. That one's in Concord, 12 to 2 p.m. at their state house. There's a whole bunch happening in April. 6 that I know of. I don't have all of the graphics for all of them. The first one is the Illinois iGold, Illinois Gun Owners Legislation Day or something like that. It's been going on for a long time. They meet up at the Springfield Center, and then they get bussed over by the Illinois State Rifle Association. There's one in Olympia, Georgia, or Washington, Olympia, Washington. We have a graphic for it. There's one in St. Paul, one in Kentucky that I'm not sure the dates on. This one in Columbus, Ohio, though, has changed around. It looks like it's going to be Saturday, April 25th at the State House. And then lastly, we have that one in New York that we're aware of the support the 2A march that's going to be in Albany at their state capitol building at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday, June 2nd. So there's a lot more that I have in the description down below that I don't have graphics for. Get to as many as you can. Hopefully let people know about these if you're interested in passing information along. Let people know ahead of time for some of these that are in the future, and plan now to have after action events to talk about the consequences and the results of these rallies. This is using our First Amendment right to assemble, and our First Amendment right to free speech, of course, but then our First Amendment right to the press, to be aware of these things and to grow from when we go to the range to practice our accuracy and our marksmanship and our manipulations and our gun handling. Let's go to these rallies to practice our citizenship and our community, right? So we can be strong and not depend on these social media platforms for our only communication. So use our gun shows, use our gun shops, and use our two-way rallies for what their potential are. Let us know in the comments what you think. Please let us know if you know of any that we're missing. Thanks for being part of all this. We want to thank our Patreons for making it possible for us to take the time to do projects like this. It really does mean a lot to us. Thanks to them, and thank you for watching.
The guys and gals at gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW.
All right. So yeah, that's the video posted saying about the AZ one. They say it's the 7th annual. I've been to 3 of them. So I guess there might have been some that I wasn't aware of, I guess. But I've been to everyone that I'm aware of. And the first one that I went to was downtown. And then the second, and the first one that we went to was just me and Heavy and Angry and Brandon, dude from California. It was very few people. It's like 12 or 15 or 18 people altogether. Jimmy, his wife. There was very few people there. Enrique Sonora came up for that one, and that was, just us sitting on a corner and people driving by and us having a sign. And then there was another one that was over by Scottsdale, and then there was one last year, and then there was this one. So I don't know where they come up with the other ones. Maybe I missed them, but they're saying it's the 7th annual, and they say it's every February. So maybe the bikers had been doing it before that, but as far as I know, it started 2 years ago. So yeah, let's take a look at it. We can jump open to some of our images here. Now it is a little bit out of order because I didn't bring my batteries for whatever reason again. So I charged both phones, but the one phone died at some point. Then I used the other phone. Then I went back to the van and charged, and then came back, used one phone, and died, and then the other phone. So they're kind of out of order. But if I can get to where I was looking before, we'll get some pictures here. First off, let's see what this one does. So this is driving up to Phoenix, or through Phoenix, I guess, up from Tucson. What is going to happen here? Some reason because of the duck, it's not going to work. Isn't that pretty cool? So this is driving up from Tucson to Phoenix. They have their, what do they call that thing? Their airport right next to the highway, dangerously close to the highway. So this kind of stuff happens. This is what it sounds like. I can't even afford to have the radio going when I'm driving. Pretty cool, huh? Right over the top. And then I just stuck my arm over here, so I don't think I see it in this one. It comes out way down here, probably. Yeah, way down here. So that's the kind of danger you have to deal with. I'm willing to risk it to drive up there. Now there is another one. Here's a picture. This one's pretty good. Look at this. This is looking out the side. So we're driving to over here, basically. This one was crazier, a little earlier in the drive. First off, look at all of these. These are a bunch of trees. This is where all the water goes in Arizona, to these trees right here. All these nuts. They're nuts. They're growing all these nuts. They'll go in and flood this whole area. This will just be like 2 feet of water. And this is just out in the middle of the desert. That's where most of the water in Arizona goes. Use more water doing that than the copper mines. This is a bunch of equipment on the side of the road going up to Phoenix. All right, so then let's see, we're going this way. Oh, yeah, I was going to show you this one is kind of crazy. Is this the one? This is not it. This is the one. I'm just minding my business, driving up to Phoenix. Sometimes pronounced Phoenix. Can I zoom in on this video? I guess not. So we're just trying to drive here. Oh, no, this is the wrong video. That's a super boring video. Let's try this one then. Is it this one? No. Which one is it then? It has to be... Can't be that one. Can't be this one. Oh, was it the other? What the hell? Did it get moved? That's weird. So I hope I didn't delete it just a second ago. Move it. Oh, here it is. I named it, so it's down at the different area. So this is just me driving. And it's not unusual to see an airplane flying around. So here's the airplane. And this isn't the best video. Is there a way to play the video at a different speed? More options. Flip music. Burn performance. Yeah. All right. So try to keep up. It's I'm trying to drive and do this, and I don't think I can zoom in. Can you zoom in on a video? No. So we'll try to do it here. So first off, he's just flying, I think, kind of low to the air to the ground. Do you think that's kind of low for where you live? Are planes allowed to drive that close to the ground by you? So it looks like he's emergency landing or something. So I'm like, oh, I'm definitely going to film this, right? And everybody starts to slow down a little bit, but we don't know where he is because there's trees, right? So then in a minute here, this is horrible filming because I have it zoomed in too far and I didn't realize it. So in a second, though, you do get a glimpse of him. So there he is again. And he I guess he's not a crop duster. He's just some dude. So now here he is. All right, he could be crop dusting at that point. No, he's not crop dusting anymore. Number one, he's not a crop duster, and number two, he's not over any crops. This is the middle of air, nothing. So, and right now, there's nothing growing right now, is there? So, I guess things are kind of tiny right now. There might be some stuff planted, but I wish I had it zoomed out because look at this. Now this is zoomed in. I wish I would have been able to zoom in digitally instead of it being zoomed in, because look at that. Look at where this guy is. And I missed the best part right here because of how bad I film. Ugh, look at that. But that's how, I don't know what he was doing. He's trying to land. The only thing I can think of is there's a one of those speed limit signs that tells you how fast you're going. And maybe he's trying to buzz the speed limit sign to show how fast he's going in his airplane. I'll let it kind of go here, but it's really bad filming. So first he comes across. I'll have to put this into the editor so I can slow it down and calm it up. Maybe there's some way to get rid of my jitteriness there. So that's how far he went across, and I knew there was something up. This is when I knew I'm going to need to film this. And then shitty. And I blame most of this filming to 9mm. This is the reason for that shitty filming. And then here he comes back over. Now, the thing is, you wouldn't even know it if you were just driving because he came up from behind you. Oh, I missed so much because I was zoomed out. So lame. But right there, you can get an idea of whatever he was trying to do. And he's just right there. Maybe he was screwing with this truck. It looks like he had something against that truck, that white car, or that car. Now, is it possible that this was some sort of spy thing? Right? I don't know. Could be. All right, let's see what people are saying. Going backwards. A couple months back, there was a small plane flying over the highway while I was driving a solo. I thought it was going to land. That's what I thought, too. And I don't even know what to call the vibrations on an airplane. Make sure there's a pretty term for it. Plane vibrations. Fly about 20 feet above the road outside of our town. A low flyer just passed me. What? Never that low? That's what I'm saying. And then that's talking about those truck tractors and whatnot. All right, so then that's just on the way up there. So that's the kind of excitement I had driving up there. Let's see. So let's scroll back. Oh, we can put on some attribution not required royalty-free music from YouTube back here. Well, that's really loud, too. I just mostly listen to attribution-free, royalty-free music from YouTube nowadays. All right, so next up, we're going to drive through the tunnel because you have to drive to Phoenix. Anytime you go to Phoenix, you want to drive through the tunnel because it's fun. So this time, I got stuck behind this Yahoo in his truck, in his junk trailer, and then jackass over here, Nancy, wouldn't let me over, and I knew I had to get over to the right here, but bitch-ass Nancy right here wouldn't let me over, and then I think there's some dick in a truck who's over here being a dick, and then I can finally get over here. So it ruined the tunnel for me, but usually I like that tunnel. It's pretty good. And I like to wiggle the camera around when I go through that tunnel. But pretty good chunk of Phoenix is underneath of a tunnel, or there's a tunnel through a pretty good chunk of Phoenix. So you get to go right through the bad part of the downtown there. All right, and that's when you're in. Basically, we're at the end of here, right at the end of what I was just at, is when you get off to go to the where the fairgrounds are at, where all the gun shows are, or in this case, where the state capitol is. So that's what our state capitol looks like from the driving at it from the west to the east. Just a big ass square building mostly. There's one of those airplanes going down. Now this will be driving up to the rally. So now I'm coming up to the right of that big building and I look over and the big building is just to the left here. This building with the dome on it, you can barely see, is the actual Capitol, I think. This big square building is what we're going to be next to. And then over here, if I could zoom in better behind all these electrical boxes, is where the rally starts. So last year, the rally was about that big. And now it's at least 4 times bigger. Area-wise, 5 times bigger. People-wise, maybe even 6 times bigger. It was really big. So last year it was just a little bit underneath of those big trees over there and a little bit spilled out. Most of this grass was empty. If you remember the videos from last year when I was live, Mello was just jumping all around in this grass by herself. So this was all covered, and this is about a half an hour before it started. I got there a little bit early, not quite as early as I would have liked. This whole front parking lot locked off for senators and shit. It was empty. Oh, and then it goes to the next video. Let's see. So this is going around and coming back. So before I drove up, that's the big building. I drove up past the dome there, and now I'm going to drive the other way. Let me go to a map and I'll show you where I'm at. So we go up from Tucson. This is where that equipment was. That equipment is right over here where it says Eloy. And then we drive up. We go through that tunnel, which is probably like right over here somewhere. Oh, there's probably this gray area is the tunnel. That's when you're underneath all them parks and stuff. You pop out of the tunnel, you come down, and then this here is that road I was driving down, and the big building is in front of us. So that's the one video. And then I drive out and I'm going down here. And this is the corner where I got that second video. So this is what that corner would look like normally. There's those electric boxes and all this emptiness. This was filled with people. So there was a stage over here, and this is how clean it looked when they left, except without all the leaves, because they cleaned up the leaves too. So there was a stage kind of in this area. All this area in the center where there's like nothing was chairs and whatnot. And then the outside area was standing. Then the very perimeter of it all was booths. And then I drive past here, and I drive over here. Let's see if I can get this thing to drive with me. So I drive down this area, right? And then I drive a little bit further. And then I drive a little bit further, I guess. And then somewhere over here, I take a right. Let's say I drive here, even though I want to block further. And then over here, where the Mineral Museum is, this is where I like to park always, because you got this big cool mural to look at. Let's go back over to here. So I drove over here. Oops, what did I do? I went back too far. That's pretty cool. You jump a whole block that way. Let's jump this way. Come on, what the hell? Let me jump a block that way. I had to take 4 jumps to get back. So this is the building with the museum where the mural is. So then this next video, I'm going to be driving back towards the Capitol, which is that giant building that we drove the other way at it. So now I'm going to drive this way. And that's the Arizona Memorial there, the USS Arizona Memorial. So we'll jump back a little bit. So this is a firefighter memorial. And then go back a little bit further. I was just playing or turning the music back on there. I don't get a very good picture of it. That's the firefighter memorial there. I think that kind of circular looking Frisbee thing. To the left there, though, is one of the guns from one of the battleships. And then there's the anchor, I think, from the USS Arizona. And then there's a whole bunch of different memorials. You can look at the ground. There's bricks for each of the people on the USS Arizona, I think. I think there's also like an outline of the Arizona and the whole whole area, the whole memorial area. There's parking all around the edges. Last year, the parking was plenty to fill up. We didn't even fill that parking for the rally. This year, it was completely full plus. Now, this is at the beginning of the rally, so I'm coming along about a half an hour before it starts, and it's only about 70% like of the people were even there yet. But the other thing is that here, pay attention to this, is empty right now. So that last part there before we stopped, I was just at that intersection, and this part of the street that's blocked off is empty right now. And in a second, or in a minute here, you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, so then I drive around a little bit trying to look for a parking place, and there's none that are close. And I also wanted to see it from each angle or whatever. And then I noticed there was a shit ton of Jeeps staged over here. And I thought, I'm going to get myself into an angle where I can see them things driving by. And I knew the motorcycles were going to drive by, but the Jeeps was a new thing. So I got over here, and I didn't get here in time for all the motorcycles. But that was the first Jeep right there. Oh man, will it let me back up a little bit? So if you watch, that's a motorcycle, Jeep. So that's the first Jeep. That black Jeep right there is Jeep number 1. And I just get into this intersection and I pull into this left turn lane. There's nobody that's trying to go anywhere because everybody's blocked off watching these Jeeps and stuff. So basically I got every single Jeep. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 9. Right one is 9. Come and take it as 10. So come and take it here is still 10. And then 11, you can see the capital there now. 12 is that orange one. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 is that black one. 22, 23, 24 is this tan one. 25, 26 is this guy. 27, watch these people walk in. 27 is that tan one. 27, 28 is the red one. 28, they're like, oh, but I guess there's just a shit ton. I guess there's just 29 Jeeps driving by. That's no big deal. 30 Jeeps, this yellow one. 31, 32, 33. Oh, that guy's a truck. So I guess at this point so there was what, 33? 33 Jeeps. Oh, I remember I'm cutting right through the middle of the Jeeps. Maybe I guess I was remembering it differently. I guess they walked through the middle of the Humvees. But they were just like, doo-doo-doo, this isn't a parade or nothing. I'm just going to walk through. So 33 Jeeps. Count Jeepula. That was just like being Count Jeepula. And then you get to these bikes, which I don't know why they were there. I guess because they're not Harleys. But then what's cool, look at that. So then there was, oh, yeah, it's a good idea to minimize it right in the middle of everything. Oops. What the hell? So, whatever. So, boom, go back to here, go back to here. Nope, go back to here. Play. All right, so there's a couple of Humvees go by, and I think there was like 4. Let's go back and double count the Humvees now. So those guys walk in the middle. 33 Jeeps go by. So there's 32, 32, 32 is the yellow one, and then that white one is 32. Nope, that white one was 33. And then there's that truck for no reason, right? Just some pickup truck that trying to scab in there, acting like a man. And then look, 1 Humvee with its snorkel. 2 Humvees, no snorkel, easily defeated by going through deep water. There's them guys walking across with their dog with the Hawaiian shirt. 3 Humvees, again, no snorkel, easily defeated by deep water. And then 4 Humvees, this one has a snorkel. So 4 Humvees and then 2 not Harleys. So we have 33 Jeeps. We got 4 Humvees. Looks like they were just blocking their section. Well, there's a bunch of these bikers came in because Riders USA is a biker club, biker gang, and they put on this rally. So it's their rally. It's a biker rally, really. So now what's cool is, let's jump out of the video for a second and go back over to the, I guess this is the thing. So this is basically where I'm at. I'm actually, my van is like right next to this car. I'm in the place where this blue car is, in this spot right here in this left turn lane. So this is where the van is for this video. And we're watching everybody drive by from over here. Because earlier I seen that they were all staged where I like to park, right? They're all staged in front of there. So I'm like, well, shit, I got to get over here somewhere so I can get a video of this. So here's the Capitol. And now I'm going to zap out of here. I guess I'm going to zoom up and go into space again. So that's where I'm at, right? These guys just drove up, around. I think they let them drive through here to go past. This is where the rally's happening, and in this little place right here is where the rally's happening. So they let them drive from here up like this. They come up like this and around here. And as that 33rd Jeep goes by, 4 Humvees, that pickup truck, and those 2 rice burners, then this one comes around. This is when you start to see the beginning of the parade wrap back around. So from me sitting right here, this is what you're going to see, the beginning of the bikes now. So now we see these guys were the beginning of the bikes. So if I wanted to, I don't think I could count all these Harleys. So we drove up here at the last Harley and we just saw all 33, what do you call them, Jeeps go by. This is 2 minutes and 29 seconds into a 9-minute video. So there's 7 minutes of Harleys driving by. Oh no, I guess there's not, because all the Jeeps go by again. So it looks like there's 2.5 minutes of Harleys driving by. And then every once in a while, in a fit of rage, a 9mm driver will zoom past and cut off the parade. I guess then you see all the Jeeps come by again. So you get to see the Jeeps twice. And then when you get to the end, everybody's in a mad fury by this point, because we've had to sit here for 6 minutes, 9 minutes. We've been sitting here for 9 minutes. And I don't care because I'm filming it. But some of the people that I guess were like, I need to get somewhere today, they were fucking pissed. So they all wanted to go immediately. And I kind of wanted to go get in this parade, right? Why not? So as soon as these bikers that were blocking the intersection, I was like, well, I'm just going to continue on and be in the end of this parade. But it turns out there was a whole bunch of people that really wanted to get at the end, like start driving, go where they wanted to go. So we'll go back here and show those Humvees again, because actually it worked out pretty good getting these Humvees, because the way the lighting came through, the way the sun was hitting them. Boom. See, so except for this stupid biker guy, I figured that out real quick and then moved over, and then boom, got nice views of these Humvees going by. I could probably cartoon that one. This one I could cartoon, but it's the most boring of all the Humvees. This one I could cartoon also. I don't know what he's doing with this, but it's like, hey, let me just take if that's a real saw, like what, a $20,000 gun that's not even transferable, and then like leave it just hanging out there. I would drive up on one of these motorcycles and just grab it. That guy's barely holding on to it. Anyway, so then you get a whole shit ton of motorcycles going by too. So then I tried to get in here, and this guy, see, here's me. This guy's like, hell no, I'm in a big hurry. And then this guy over here is freaking out because I got in second somehow. He's like, hell no, I got to be second. I got a star on here because I'm communist. And this guy, he'd been trying to turn left for like 9 minutes, and he's smoking the Bandit guy. So these two got in cahoots, cut me off. I was like, fuckers, I'm trying to get in this fucking left turn lane like I've always been. So I got right the fuck past both of them, and I know that pissed them both fucking off really bad. Then I go over here, and then I get a bunch of videos of these guys off the side. And depending on this one, I might be able to cartoon from that angle too. I'd rather get a little bit more front angle, but what are you going to do? So this is basically the beginning. That was the beginning of the parade. So I saw the parade from the butt end instead of the front end, but that's all right. So now we're driving past. That's the two cannons. I think one of them is off of, I don't think they're off the Arizona. I think one of them is off of some other boat and the other one is off of some other ship. But this anchor, I believe, is from the Arizona, that anchor. And I don't think it's like from the Arizona as much as it was once on the Arizona. Like, I don't think they pulled anything off of the actual Arizona. But I think that anchor had at one time lived on the Arizona, or was used on it, or fell off it or something at one time before Pearl Harbor. I'm not sure. Later on, I come over and I park over here, but you can see how that parking lot is getting pretty full. And that's, pretty much the beginning of the whole thing. Got a bunch of stills from that, and then let's see, I don't know which one of these is longer. You got Gabby Franco hanging out with Mello. This happens all the time, but I figured this time I would film it more. People will be like, you, stop, I need to pet that dog. This gives you some idea of the size of our rally. So there was a whole bunch of sitting down area. A lot of times people that shoot 9mm, they can't stand, for like 4 hours. So they'll need a place to sit down and rest their wrists and stuff. So they give an area for that because we know that they're going to be here. And they're shooters. They're allowed to be here. So there's an area for them. They can rest. And then everybody who can stand up is standing around the edges. And there was a stage over here. Looks like maybe Alan Corwin was blabbing right now, saying something inspirational or whatever. It was pretty muddy. It looks like it's nice and clean and dry and everything, but it was actually super muddy and slippery. Yeah, that was Gabby Franco. What am I saying? I don't know if I said Gabby Gifford. Gabby Franco. So here's pretty much that same view. So I don't know. Nothing really new there. Let's see if I can... Let's see, this is the video from before where I was saying how there was that area, the street was clear. I'm pretty sure the parade goes through there. They come back and then they park in that section of street. So this was like, if you're into motorcycles, this is when, you could walk around and look at all these different motorcycles. And if you were into stealing gloves and helmets, they're just laying on there. Nobody cares. You can just take them, I guess. I don't really know. I don't know motorcycle culture that well, but I'm guessing if you just wanted their helmets or gloves, they just leave them there. I don't think you're allowed to just drive these bikes around like some of those green ones. There's some green bikes in town where you just put in your credit card or get an app or something and you can just drive it around. I don't think you're allowed to do that with these, though. Thought this was pretty good. Kind of a juxtaposition or whatever. Some guy with a big ass single action and a Harley. This one I thought was a pretty good thing too. So I'm walking around to see, the deal. Like you could see this is pretty far away from the event. Like this is out in the one parking lot. A bunch of these kids were like, I don't want to hang out with the old people or whatever. I want to hang out over here in the cool kids parking lot where these Humvees are. So they're hanging out in this cool kids parking lot. I thought that was pretty neat that you got belt fed, basically tripod mounted belt fed machine guns in this, parking lot of the state capitol, a couple of 100 yards or so away from, where a group of hundreds if not thousands of people are assembled to protect and celebrate the Second Amendment and what it protects. And nobody gave a shit that these things are over here. I obviously didn't hurt nobody. They're all privately owned. So I thought that was a kind of neat video. Plus it gives you an idea of like, there was the event going on and then there's like this cool kids crowd over here, like doing their thing. And they were kind of like, year ago when they weren't here, I'm assuming they were like the, these things don't make a difference crowd. And now I didn't get too much video of them because I figured they'd freak out a little bit getting any video of them. But let's see if you can see some of them. No, you can't really see some of them. I'm sure you can see it from some people's video. There's definitely people who didn't give a shit and they were just taking pictures of anything, taking video of everybody that they're walking around. So if you see some other video of the thing, you might see what I'm talking about. But that's the kind of, how do you explain that? How do you put that into words that, sure, a bunch of these people are going to show up no matter what. And getting them to show up is just a matter of making it appealing for them or making it convenient for them. But some of these kids that normally wouldn't show up and who did show up and had a good time, they're going to be able to own that and they're going to show up again. And they're more difficult to reach. So I think that's a real accomplishment of this whole thing. I just went around and tried to get some pictures of the signs and stuff, except this time I'm trying to keep in mind video, B-roll and that kind of thing. I got little video clips and then I would snap my pictures during the video clip. Like this is a picture I took. If I can get my mouse over here now, where'd my mouse go? If I can get, Like that's a picture I took during the video, but now I've got the little video too for, I don't know, some kind of B-roll. This was annoying. See this bag he's holding? That's those video trucks. I got a video of it. They made a big deal for whatever reason that they brought these video trucks. Where is my video of one? So this is the video truck that they made a big deal about. So it's just a big TV screen on the back of a pickup truck that they drag in there and they flash stuff up there like this. And I thought, oh, that's kind of neat. You know, you can get a lot of information across that way. Like you run those things up and you give them to the event, good to go, right on. And they weren't. They were these stupid things that told you about the thing we were already at. There was no calls to action. There was no like, here's what you do next or anything. This was where we were. We're already here. We don't need to be told where we were or reminded where we were. And then it went into a commercial for the damn trucks. And I definitely don't want to see a commercial for the damn trucks. If they can't say that they donated it, they don't get advertising space on the banner and then put advertising space. They haven't given us anything. All they've done is showed up. So I don't know. I appreciate the gesture, but like go all in. Don't give us like half-ass donation or whatever. So anyway, I thought that was neat, but I think it can be improved a lot because this could have been a way to accomplish a lot of information getting across to a lot of people for 4 hours. Instead, for 4 hours, it was stupid waste of time, a waste of electricity, and waste of being there because it was just obnoxious in the way, and could have been the opposite. They could have backed this thing up to the back of the food trucks. Instead, they put it in line with the food trucks. So anyway, we'll keep going. Go back to, here's some chick that wanted to get petted by her. So I started saying, yeah, let me get a picture of you. Because what the hell? Why don't I get a picture if they're getting to rub my dog, right? Here's some dog that wanted to sniff my dog. I let her. So let's also look at how bad Mello is all the time. Everybody acts like how good she is. Look at, she started to be a bitch at the end there. So now, let's see, do I got a video of this dog? Here's some other dog. She's like, all right, all right. And then she's like, well, I'm not going to do nothing. I'm just going to stand there. So she was kind of awkward with that dog too. This dog she wouldn't go over by. Look how big that dog is. For some reason, Mello wouldn't go over by this big fat dog. This dog she wouldn't go by because this dog was tiny and the guy wouldn't put her down. Where is it? Okay, so here's another one. So here's Mello. Like, hey, look at this dog. Hey, dog. Hey, you want to play with me? And then she's all like, oh my God, I'm being attacked. Oh my God. Oh, no, 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 no. And then that dog leaves. And then she's like, oh, come on, I'm going to get you. So she starts out by being nice to that dog. Like, oh, hey, let's go back to the beginning. This is Mello. Hey, look, there's a dog. Hey, let's play, dog. I'm going to sniff your butt. Want to play? Look at me. You want to play? And then dog's like, sure, let's play. And then here's Mello. Oh, I'm being attacked. Oh, I'm being attacked. And then as soon as the dog leaves, she's like, I'm going to get that dog and bite it in the leg. So Mello's kind of a jerk. So she's going to have to shape up. I don't know. I didn't like that interaction very much. I had to apologize this whole time. I'm like, oh, sorry about that. She went over there and was like, hey, you want to play? Hey, look at me. You want to play? Oh my God, I'm being attacked. Oh no, she's a millennial. Oh my God, I'm being attacked. Oh, I'm being attacked. Oh, you're leaving? I'll kill you. That's pretty much how it went down. It was embarrassing. And I was right next to a bunch of AZ CDL people. So that happened right in front of them. And this other girl wanted to pet her. And I was like, no, leave your rifle on. What the hell? She was like, oh, I'm going to pet your dog. I'm like, all right. And then she starts taking her rifle off. I'm like, what are you taking your rifle off for? Coming home, see a bunch of other Humvees. I think these came out of auction because they had a bunch of auction like writing on the side. I don't know if I drive up next to them. No, I don't. But they had like auction writing on the side. I don't know what this video does. This is just her being exhausted, I think, at the end of the night. All right, we'll talk about food then. So I snuck out and I go to this place that says it's vegan soul food. So I go over there and it's the opposite. It's just a place that has like side dishes or whatever. So I got them and they're gross. I don't know if they look good in that picture, but this was the like most untasteful beans I've ever had. They tasted like they took beans out of a can. I don't even know if they were ever hot. And then they put them on top of rice, which was just plain rice. So that was not, it was like what you'd feed a prisoner if they were being punished. These mashed potatoes were like the most salty things I've ever eaten. They were, I can't even imagine what the recipe is, but it has to do with like potatoes, water, and salt, period. This coleslaw was not bad, but it was not good. And then I'm scared because of how bad everything else was that the coleslaw was probably not good. The cornbread was gross and watery. Like, how do you make watery cornbread? And then what was supposed to be macaroni and cheese was the most water. It was like orange juice poured over macaroni. It was not good. It was gross. And then those fries would have been good, except they were also super salty. So that was a very bad experience with eating. And then and that cost money, right? So I paid for that food. And I was like, oh, that's not good. I didn't even eat it. I tasted it and I was like, no, sometimes you take a loss, you just don't eat it. That's what I felt like. So then I went to this other place, which I thought would be good because they got a van, right? So a vegan place with a van. And as you could tell, it's already late by now. So basically I go to the rally, I do the video about the rallies, and that makes me stay up all night. So I drink a not Red Bull, probably some kind of Monster, probably I think it was a Monster, chocolate Monster milk, energy milk, and went up to Phoenix based off, just staying awake on a Monster energy drink, go to the rally, and then I fell asleep. So I fell asleep from like 2 or 3, I think around 3 to, let's say, place just about starting to close. So 8 o'clock, and checked out this place, and it was open till 10. So it was no excuse that they were about to close. They were open till 10. I go here at like 8:30 and I order something not even all that good. I think I ordered some sort of cauliflower curry or something. That something sounded kind of interesting, but nothing I was dying to eat. But I wanted to try out a restaurant because I was hungry, and ordered it. They go, oh, don't pay yet. What? They go, don't pay yet. Come back in like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And you can pay then when you pick it up. So I'm like, all right, I go back out here and I sit in the van, and I think I Instagrammed or something. And I go back in there in 20 minutes. And then they're like, oh, we never placed that order. Like, we'll just be another 20 minutes. So I was like, and I left. So, had pretty much 2 bad food experiences up there. One of them wasn't even an experience. It was just basically getting blown off for 40 minutes. And then came home. This is what it looks like when you drive home and you park in front of a gas station for a little while and walk your dog around. So anyway, I got home. I left here at 7 a.m. Got home around 11, 12. No, I think I got home around 12:20 p.m. So it's pretty much a full day. And I slept up in Phoenix, in the parking lot of someplace for a while, which is nice about the van. I didn't have to get a hotel room or nothing. I didn't die. And got a lot of stuff done. I got a couple of, I didn't get any videos made, but I got a couple of ideas for projects to work on this year. So like I say, I sent out a couple of links today. Nobody jumped in, and we've been chatting for almost an hour here. Let's see. Mello is funny. Yeah, she's funny. She's pretty good. I might keep her. Wish AC wasn't cheap enough for anti-gunners to move to Arizona. Only the hottest pro-gunners. Yeah, I like that idea. In the heat waves, I don't. So... nah, I didn't try pushing my luck. I just decided to drive home. It took me actually 3 hops to get home. I don't. At night, driving home from Phoenix is about the most boring thing. I'm sure other people commute 2 hours. There's other people that go 2 hours to, some family or work or wherever. So it's, I mean, I don't even think there's a way to calculate how many times I've driven between Phoenix and Tucson. And so there's nothing to look at on that route. I know where I'm at the whole time. And since I got the van, then I could just basically stop whenever I'm tired and sleep. And sometimes it's for 20 minutes and sometimes it's for 2 hours. And you know what I mean? And then I can get back on the road. And if I get a little more tired, I'll just stop. I don't care if it takes me 3 hours to get home. It's just as comfortable as getting home and, pushing it, getting home and sleeping in a bed for a longer period of time. So I basically napped a couple of times on the way home and got back. Like I said, I kind of planned on what to do with the what am I trying to say, the rally footage. I was looking for a picture in here. I think I took a picture of the snipers. So the way that the buildings were there, here's one. The way that the buildings were, they had these police snipers on top of the building that we were just under or next to, and then the building across the way. And those were also basically the only place they could be. Every place else was just so far away that you weren't really above anymore. It was just so far away. So what I was hoping is to get one of these snipers to somebody on the ground, one of the cops on the ground, to call up to one of them snipers and have them take a picture from their cell phone so that we could get a bird's eye view basically of what the crowd looked like. So I don't think we got that. This is her just walking around by our Capitol. They got some kind of a lady throwing around a ring or something up there, playing Frisbee up there. Anyway, that's about it with that. So did the preliminary stuff for the rally list like on the Friday Daily Gun Show. Somebody was in here, weren't they? And we went through and looked at a bunch of different rallies. And then we figured out, I think we did it live. We tried to figure out how long it would be to drive to all of them. And it came out to like $25,000, I think, to try to attend all the ones that are possible to attend. Of the, what would it be? Something like 16 or 18 that are left in the year. You can hit all but 2 of them. There's like 2 of them that are, well, 4 of them that are on, like 2 on this weekend and 2 on this weekend. So, it's not possible to go to 2 on the same weekend. They're just all too far away from each other and they only last for 2 hours. But aside from those 2 conflicts, it's possible to go to all of them. Some of them are semi close to each other. Some of them are really far, but I don't know. So I'm probably going to post some kind of video. Let me see, since I'm taking pictures or showing pictures of this. One of the things I noticed on the way up there, I think this is the video. Yeah, so this is on the way up to Phoenix from Tucson. You pass like a racetrack. It's actually like a water racetrack. It's a big donut-shaped lake where they race boats on it. And then I think either on the inside or the outside of the boat racetrack, there's a regular racetrack. So there's multiple kind of racetracks. So almost every time you drive between Phoenix and Tucson, there's some sort of big ass race happening right here. So I just noticed, let me go back to wherever it starts and I'll pause it. Like think of them, not that truck, but think of these. It's hard to get one where there's not a car going by, but you got like, I just see those 2 Snap-on trucks. And this is actually, I started the video after I first saw the first couple of trucks, and I forgot what the brand was or what the thing they were trying to advertise on the side of the first trucks, but they were, I don't know, this is like the dwindling group of trucks, like after I already passed the big group and I didn't really get a good picture of the first group. Maybe my dash cam did. But anyway, I started seeing the trucks that are support trucks, I'm guessing, for the race cars or whatever it is that they're there for. Maybe they're boats. but I'm sure one of the trucks is probably a car, and then another truck is probably a second car, like a parts car or something, maybe second chassis or some shit. And then maybe another car that's like a garage or tools or I don't know, but there's got to be some sort of support or something, right? And anyway, I was just thinking about that. Like, how much can each one of those trucks possibly cost, like to run it, and whatever that is? Like, that's just one team on one sport on one type of racing, in one circuit. So whatever that is, I'm sure that if you applied that to any of the projects that are out there that are 2A focused, it dwarf whatever the budget is for just that one truck of the 3-team or a 3-truck team. I bet you it's dwarfs it. So I'm just trying to figure out like how to put something like that together to shine a light on like what would happen if we had 2A activists that were actually funded at the level of something like this, or even anything. 2A content creators like exhibition shooters or somebody, what do they call them, ambassadors, so they can stack cars in there. Yeah, exactly. They'll have basically their car carriers, right, just with skins on them. So they might have 3 chassis in there for a race team or something, or maybe 2 or 3 different cars that they race. If they're going to drive all around, they might as well bring more than one team with them. So I'm just saying the seeing multiple trucks with one team on it, I was like, dang, these are major operations. Like, there must be some way to show. And that's not even a real sport like football or something. Like, they don't have a big truck probably, but think how much money they're spending because of all the salaries and shit. I don't know what race car drivers make, but I'm sure it's not anything like sports players. But anyway, I'm not bitching. I'm just saying we're a rich ass country, and there's got to be some way to show people like, hey, I know what it looks like when people talk about their Patreon or something like it's some sort of hat. Like, oh, I'm over here dancing. Like, give me a tip. When it ain't got to be like that. Like, we could divert some money to some real projects and see some, I don't know, see some of these rallies and stuff turn into NASCAR type size events. I don't know. Or not. Like, I don't know, whatever the topic people would be interested in. But I'm really thinking it's interesting. I'm going to try to, as I was coming home from the rally, I was thinking about how to apply some of the shit. I watch a lot of documentaries, how to apply some of that stuff to the, like how to report on or how to talk about the rally, my experience at the rally, using some of those techniques, because, just going to it is one thing, but talking about how the rally is here in 2020 compared to, I don't even know the first rally I ever went to, but I know the first rally I ever went to, whenever that was a whole bunch of fat white dudes and maybe their wives, maybe, and maybe like a daughter or like the wife of a son, like a daughter-in-law or something. Like, there was not a lot of diversion from that old fat white guy plan, and it ain't like that no more. And it isn't like, here's your token this and that and the other, or here's your like token group of this and that and the other. It's just a different situation. There's younger people, there's a lot of couples, and that's not something that's new. I've seen that come and go, and I don't know if that's a trend thing or if that's just an age thing or what. But like I said, it'd be interesting to talk about that with some people that have, somebody like a Jeff Knox or a Cheryl Todd, who've been to a couple of these things over the years, to see sort of the trends or the, I don't know what to call it, waves or whatever. Any Los Angelinos at the Capitol? There were people from the San Diego gun owners. I took a picture of one of their shirts. They're an active group in Southern California. But I wouldn't be surprised if there was Los Angeles's, because there's that road, I-10 or whatever. It goes basically straight between I-10 and LA. So I got to assume there's a lot of people that live in both. And we were basically right on I-10. I don't know. I know I took a picture. Here it is, of, or I guess it's Orange County. So that guy was Orange County is LA, right? I thought it was San Diego because they have sort of a similar logo, but Orange County is LA, isn't it? So yeah, sorry, not at San Diego, but San Diego would have been there in spirit. I know they probably would have jumped over if they had the. What does it cost me? Like 100 and something bucks, $165 to drive back and forth. All right. Well, I'm getting tired. Nobody jumped in tonight, so we'll wrap it up here at about an hour. So thanks for jumping in. Got a lot of stuff. Like I said, had some time to plan some stuff. It's getting to where projects are ending, so can move on to new projects. We got the what do they call that thing? The Kalash Patch Batch going on right now. Now that the rally's over, I can kick back into that. I wanted to start it last week to get it going and let the first couple of people jump in. Let the Patreons know about it first. There may or may not be something fancy going on for the first 10. I'll be meeting up with all the people I want to collaborate with on this one in the next couple of days and week here. And then once I've figured out who actually wants to jump in on that collaboration, there'll be more announcements, not only on what the patch designs will be finalized, but also, if I'm going to collaborate with somebody, I'm hoping that they'll maybe, throw, if they've got a patch or if they've got something to add to the first 10 or the first 25 or whatever, something to incentivize participation with whoever it is that, we're working with. So stay tuned for that, and we'll develop some of that live here, especially some of the patch designs and stuff. Actually, I'll probably do some of that on the Gun Websites channel, but we'll be doing some of that live. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for changing up the newsletter a little bit and stepping up the projects towards like awareness, I guess, the information and the awareness sides of things. So with that, nobody's been saying anything, so I'll quit talking. Be back to pick you up later.